The Lord of the Rings. In the verdant hills of the Shire, where the grass grows thick and green, and the air is sweet with the scent of pipeweed, there lived a hobbit named Frodo Baggins. Hobbits, you see, are a peculiar folk, smaller than dwarves, fond of comfort and good food, and generally uninterested in adventures or the affairs of the wider world. But Frodo was different, marked by destiny for a task that would shake the foundations of Middle-earth. On his 33rd birthday, Frodo inherited a curious ring from his uncle Bilbo. It was a simple band of gold, unremarkable save for its perfect smoothness and a strange warmth that seemed to emanate from within. Little did Frodo know that this ring was the one ring, forged by the dark Lord Sauron in the fires of Mount Doom, imbued with his malice and his will to dominate all life. It was Gandalf the Grey, a wizard of great renown, who discovered the true nature of the ring. He came to Frodo with grave news: the enemy was searching for the ring, and the Shire was no longer safe. With a heavy heart, Frodo set out from his beloved home, accompanied by his loyal gardener, Samwise Gamgee, and his cousins Merry and Pippin. Their journey took them through ancient forests and over rolling hills, always with the shadow of pursuit at their heels. The Nazgul, ringwraiths bound to Sauron's will, hunted them relentlessly. In the village of Bree, they met a mysterious ranger called Strider, who offered to guide them to the elven refuge of Rivendell. Strider, whose true name was Aragorn, was more than he appeared, the heir of Isildur, rightful king of Gondor, living in exile. Under his protection the hobbits made their way through the wild. But danger was never far behind. At Weathertop, an ancient ruined fortress, they were ambushed by the Nazgul. Frodo was wounded by a Morgul blade, a sinister weapon that threatened to turn him into a wraith. Racing against time, Aragorn led them towards Rivendell, hoping the elves could heal Frodo. They were aided by Glorfindel, an elf lord of great power, who sent Frodo riding ahead on his swift horse. At the ford of Brunnen, on the borders of Rivendell, Frodo faced the Nazgul alone. As they entered the river, a great flood swept them away. A defense summoned by Elrond, the Lord of Rivendell. In Rivendell, Frodo was healed by Elrond's skill, and a great council was called. Representatives from all the free peoples of Middle-earth gathered to decide the fate of the ring. It was here that the full history of the ring was revealed, and the magnitude of the threat facing Middle-earth became clearer. Long ago, in the Second Age, Sauron had deceived the elven smiths, helping them forge rings of power, 9 for mortal men, 7 for the dwarf lords, and 3 for the elves. But in secret, he forged the one ring to rule them all. With this ring, he nearly conquered all of Middle-earth, but was defeated by an alliance of elves and men. Isildur, son of the king of Gondor, cut the ring from Sauron's hand, defeating him. But instead of destroying the ring, Isildur kept it, and it betrayed him to his death. Now, with Sauron risen again and seeking the ring, a decision had to be made. The ring could not be hidden or used, for it would corrupt anyone who wielded it. It had to be destroyed, and it could only be unmade in the fires of Mount Doom where it was forged. Frodo, showing extraordinary courage, volunteered to take the ring to Mordor. A fellowship was formed to aid Frodo in his quest. Gandalf the wizard, Aragorn the ranger, Boromir of Gondor, Legolas, the elf, Gimli the dwarf, and Frodo's 3 hobbit companions. Together, they set out from Rivendell, facing the long and perilous journey to Mordor. Their path took them to the mines of Moria, an ancient dwarf kingdom now overrun by orcs. In the darkness beneath the mountain, they faced terrors beyond imagination. Gandalf confronted a Balrog, a demon of the ancient world, on the bridge of Khazad-dûm. In a battle that shook the very foundations of the earth, Gandalf fell into shadow, and the Fellowship was forced to go on without him. Grieving and leaderless, they sought refuge in the golden woods of Lothlorien, realm of the elves. Here, under the protection of the Lady Galadriel, they found rest and healing. Galadriel, wise and powerful, tested their hearts, and gifted them with tokens to aid their quests. To Frodo she gave a phial containing the light of Erendel's star, a light to shine in dark places. As they continued their journey down the great river Anduin, the Fellowship began to fracture under the weight of their task. The ring's malevolent influence grew stronger, and Boromir, son of the Steward of Gondor, was driven mad with desire for it. He attempted to take the ring from Frodo, an act that led to the breaking of the Fellowship. Frodo, realizing the danger the ring posed to his friends, decided to continue the quest alone. However, his faithful Sam refused to let him go alone, and together they set off towards Mordor. The rest of the Fellowship was scattered. Merry and Pippin, captured by orcs, Boromir mortally wounded defending them, and Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli in pursuit of the orcs. As Frodo and Sam made their way towards Mordor, they gained an unlikely guide, Gollum, the former owner of the ring, consumed and twisted by its power over centuries. Gollum's internal struggle between his desire for the ring and his growing loyalty to Frodo became a mirror for Frodo's own battle against the ring's corruption. Meanwhile, great events were unfolding across Middle-earth. Merry and Pippin escaped their captors and found themselves in Fangorn forests, where they roused the Ents, ancient tree-shepherds, to war against the treacherous wizard Saruman. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli joined forces with the riders of Rohan to defend the kingdom of Rohan against Saruman's armies at the fortress of Helm's Deep. Gandalf returned from death as Gandalf the White, rallied the forces of good and broke Saruman's power. The war that had long been brewing finally erupted, with Sauron's forces attacking on multiple fronts. The realm of Gondor faced the brunt of the assault, with the city of Minas Tirith besieged by a vast army of orcs, trolls, and evil men. In this darkest hour, Aragorn embraced his destiny as the heir of Isildur. He took the paths of the dead, a haunted road beneath the mountain, and called upon an army of Oathbreakers to fulfill their ancient promise and fight for Gondor. With this supernatural host, he turned the tide of battle and saved Minas Tirith from destruction. But even as battles were won, the true fate of Middle-earth rested with Frodo and Sam. Their journey took them through Ithilien, where they encountered Faramir, Boromir's brother, who showed his quality by resisting the ring's temptation. They climbed the treacherous stairs of Cirith Ungol, facing the monstrous spider Shelob in her lair. In a moment of supreme crisis, when it seemed all was lost, Sam's unwavering loyalty and courage shone through. Believing Frodo dead from Shelob's sting, he took the ring himself, determined to complete the quest. But upon learning that Frodo was alive and captured by orcs, Sam orchestrated a daring rescue. Together again, Frodo and Sam made the final push into Mordor. The land was a nightmare of ash and fire, with the all-seeing eye of Sauron ever searching for his precious ring. Exhausted, thirsty, and on the brink of despair, the two hobbits struggled on, their only hope the destruction of the ring. At the Cracks of Doom, within Mount Doom itself, Frodo's strength finally failed him. The ring's power overwhelmed him, and he claimed it for his own. It was Gollum, in a final desperate attempt to seize the ring, who inadvertently completed the quest. In the struggle, both Gollum and the ring fell into the fires of the mountain, and with its destruction, Sauron's power was broken forever. The aftermath of the ring's destruction saw the dawn of a new age in Middle-earth. Aragorn was crowned king of the reunited kingdom of Gondor and Arnor, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity. The elves, their power waning with the destruction of the rings, began to leave Middle-earth for the Undying Lands across the sea. For the hobbits, their return to the Shire was bittersweet. They found their beloved home nearly destroyed by Saruman's malice, and they had to fight one last battle to free it. In time, the Shire was restored to its former beauty. But for Frodo, the wounds he had suffered went too deep for full healing in Middle-earth. In the end, Frodo, along with Bilbo, Gandalf, and the elves, sailed from the Grey Havens into the west, leaving Sam, Merry, and Pippin to enjoy the peace they had fought so hard to achieve. Sam, now a father and a leader in the Shire, stood on the shores, watching the ship disappear, the last lines of an old song on his lips. I will not say the day is done, nor bid the stars farewell. This tale of hobbits and heroes, of great battles, and small acts of kindness, reminds us that even the smallest person can change the course of the future. It speaks to the power of friendship, the strength found in unlikely places, and the eternal struggle between good and evil that resides in every heart. The story of the Ring is more than just a fantasy epic. It's a reflection on the nature of power and corruption, the importance of mercy and pity, and the enduring strength of hope in the face of overwhelming darkness. It shows us that true heroism often lies not in great deeds of arms, but in the quiet determination to do what is right, no matter the cost. From the green hills of the Shire to the fiery chasm of Mount Doom, from the ethereal beauty of Lothlorien to the stark majesty of Minas Tirith, the world of Middle-earth captivates the imagination. It's a world where ancient forests whisper secrets,